guys, how are you doing? It's Cam back at you again. Today I bring you something rather interesting. For some of you may know me or message me on Instagram, I have quite a big love for keyboard solos, fully enough, especially in heavy rock music, everything from the likes of Gates of Babylon, and in this case Highway Star, and I absolutely adore them. I've always wanted to try and work them out on guitar, and I think they're really melodic, incredibly skillful, and a real challenge. And just this morning, I was listening to Made in Japan, or Live in Japan, whichever you want to call it, Deep Purple in Osaka, the Highway Star version, and I learned the very start with John Lord on the keyboards. And I thought I'd teach it to you guys because it was a real challenge for me, and I thought I'd spread some tips and knowledge on from learning by ear. So let's go. To begin, guys, we're on standard tuning. And the whole thing more or less is in G major with some sinister notes thrown in. But to reiterate real quick, I learned all of this by ear. I have no tabs for this, and it's really, really hard to learn and hard to teach. I normally tend to teach in sections, but because of the way this piece was written and the way I've learnt it, it all sort of flows into one thing. So I'll try and break it up into little chunks and see how far we can get. So here we go. I'll try slowly for you. So this little part here, we start off with the 7th fret of the G string with your pinky. Really important to use your little finger here because you got to have a big stretch in a sec. Slide to the 12th fret. Then you do 7, 12, 16. You do 12, 16, then 15 on the B string. You can probably guess the next part. You do 16 on the B string, on the G string, sorry. Then you do 15 and 15 on the B and high E strings. So, and I pretty much sweep through that actually. So. But you pick the 15th fret of the high E string twice. So you do the final downstroke of that sweep, then I upstroke it because it keeps me in rhythm. I don't know why, it's just how I roll. So then I do upstroke on the 12th fret of the E string, downstroke on the 13th fret of the B string. And a really cool repetitive pattern here. A funny thing here, when I said learning by ear, we have this part. So that's 15th fret on the B string, pull off to 12. Then you pick the 12th fret of the G string. And then you do that again, 2 frets down. Really cool repetitive lick anyways. Really cool thing to learn, doesn't matter what you're doing. And the next part is a G major triad. And just to let you know real quick, before we progress, I chose to play this lick here. This is so 7th fret of the high E string, 8th fret of the B string, 7th fret of the G string. But you can play this in 3 different places and it still makes sense to the lick. And when I was learning this by ear, this was a real challenge. And the reason I chose here, not only does it sound nice on the guitar, but it also blends really nicely into the next step. So if you're learning stuff by ear, it's always important to think of the next step ahead, like which is the best way of reaching the part ahead. Always consider that when you're rearranging stuff and transcribing, of course. So I do 2 upstrokes there, the downstroke on the G string. Then I do That's 8th fret, 7th fret, and then 9th fret on the D string to finish. So you extend, if you like, the G major triad, I think, or arpeggio, either. I'm not a theory buff. So you're playing it almost like with a bounce. Then you do something rather interesting here, bit of an Yngwie Malmsteen thing, where you get your index finger and you roll it across the 5th fret of the B, G and D strings on the 5th fret to form like a C major chord, if that makes sense. And I do upstrokes on the B and the G strings, and then a downstroke on the D string. So just to keep track of where I'm up to so far, we have the next part is another G major triad, I believe. That's actually an arpeggio. So what we have is I upstroke, pull off to the 4th fret of the G string, then that's 5th fret of the D string. The next part is 7th fret of the D string, then you do 4th fret, 5th fret of the G string, then you play the 7th fret of the G string again, D string, pardon me. Then you slide up to the 9th fret of the D string to finish. Then that's it. Just the key thing is to practice it and build it up to speed. Another good place to listen to this, full enough, when it's actually played on a guitar, actually, is the Machine Head anniversary album, where you had Steve Vai, Glenn Hughes and Chad Smith playing this song, and Steve Vai plays the intro to it at the start. I just remembered that exists, but the so I'll take it through a couple of times and try and build it up to speed for you. The next part is for you to try and learn. Challenge yourself, it's a really cool lick and I highly recommend it. One more time for good luck. So that's that part. Then later on, when I'm more proficient at these keyboard solos, we can try the whole famous Highway Star part. You know, but that's for next time. Thanks very much for watching this video, you guys. Hope you like what you've seen. Please let me know what you think of these keyboard solo lessons. They're a real challenge for me. I'm having a lot of fun with them, and let me know what you think. See you again. Please like and subscribe.